The story of Daniel, chapter 1. The story of Daniel starts on a bad day. Israel had refused to obey God and the Bible, so God removed them from their land and carried them away captive into the land of Babylon. They were marched day and night for about 1,700 miles to the city of Babylon, where they were forced to live for the next 70 years. Daniel was one of them that was carried away with the rest of the people. Daniel learned a hard lesson that day. He learned that it pays to obey God. One night as he journeyed, Daniel worried that he would forget the promised land that he was removed from, so he promised to always pray toward Jerusalem because he never wanted to forget his home. Daniel also worried about where he was going and what was going to happen to him, so he began to pray more earnestly. Daniel prayed that he would go God's way rather than the world's way. Daniel prayed that he would be able to tell the truth rather than telling lies. Daniel prayed that he would do that which was good and right rather than that which was wrong and evil. Daniel knew that it was going to take bravery and courage to go God's way. Daniel knew that it was going to take obedience to go God's way. And most important, Daniel knew that it was going to take a heart that loved the Bible to go God's way. By the time Daniel had reached Babylon, he had completely purposed in his heart not to defile himself with the things of Babylon or with the things of this world. But the Babylonians had an evil plan for Daniel and his friends. They were going to feed them with the best food and the best drinks. Once they were used to that lifestyle, then they'd do whatever they were told because they didn't want to lose all those luxuries. But Daniel had already purposed in his heart not to defile himself with a portion of the king's meat, which he had for him and his friends. Daniel asked the king's servant for 10 days to prove that God's diet was better than the king's diet, so he gave him 10 days. After 10 days, Daniel looked healthier than everybody else who had been eating the king's food, so he allowed Daniel and his friends to eat whatever they wanted. After 3 years of this, Daniel and his friends were found to be 10 times better than everybody else in the kingdom. The end.